Here's the basketball truth on the here's the basketball truth on the travel team. Everybody's got the same handles, the same shot. We've all had the same trainer. So who wins? It's the kid who gets to the spot first on the court. It's the kid that wins the 50-50 ball. It's a kid that can still defend in the fourth quarter. Why is that? Now, if you've been following along, it could be mindset. They're not driven. It could be knowledge. They don't know where to be on the court. Maybe it's a teammate thing where when they're playing defense and they don't call switch. Today, let's talk about things that aren't just the skills, but it's actually the body. And here's the crazy part. Almost nobody is actually training that well for it. These kids play year round and they never touch a weight, or they do it's 1 or 2 days a week for 2 months. They flip the pyramid upside down, and I'll tell you what that means later. But that's exactly why ACLs, shoulders are getting wrecked at record rates. So today, strength cures a lot of sins, and speed and power kill. We're going to build the machine today. So let's talk about that. Let's re-anchor first. The first 4 episodes, we've been building the head, mindset, knowledge, and teammates. Now, today we're going to cross over to the body, and it starts with training. This is the inch number 4 and the first body block. So here's why it matters. Training is what lets you apply everything else. The best mind, the best mindset, the best playbook in the world, they mean nothing if the body can't execute. It's not what you know, it's what you do. So let's look at the training pyramid. The whole thing is a pyramid. And Louis Simmons said it best. A pyramid is only as big as its base. Now you can look at this pyramid and it's the same pyramid they look in the CrossFit books, powerlifting approaches. It's the same pyramid. So it's not like I'm just picking one over another. At the very bottom, there's going to be mindset. And some pyramids don't even have that. But the mindset drives everything else because you're making choices if you care. It holds everything else up. Then the base layers. Got to start with nutrition. You can't outwork a bad diet. Then there's conditioning, the next layer on the pyramid as you're going up. Are you actually in shape enough to handle the load? It's super easy to be strong when you're doing a set every five minutes. That's not in shape. And that's definitely not in shape enough to play a sport. Then the basic gymnastics. That's not necessarily hanging from bars, but can you move your body weight correctly and accurately? On top of the base, you build strength because strength cures a lot of sins and everything starts there. If power cleans is a power move, you got to pick the weight off the ground. Well, if you can't deadlift it, you can't power clean it. So strength comes first. Then above strength, speed and power. That's what kills. More powerful person, the faster person is usually what wins in the sport. Strength builds it, but how do you go out and win? Speed and power. You want to be to the spot first. And at the very peak is your sport, applying the skill in your craft. Here's the one rule, though, that runs the whole thing. To grow any level, you have to grow the level underneath it. The mindset has to expand and grow to decide and commit to the level of nutrition so you can get in better shape, so you can handle all the load and volume of moving correctly and move into strength pieces because your testosterone starts to drop after an hour of training. So you got to be in shape enough to keep going. Once strength leads the speed and power, you always keep building the base so the top of the pyramid can grow as well. The base grows so the whole rest of it can grow. The problem is that in today's sports, they do everything upside down. They work on the sport the most. Then maybe some speed and power. Then strength. Nutrition and mindset, they're not even looked at. If it's upside down, you're out of balance. You can only grow so far. So let's talk about our approach. We want to master it. And how do we do that? We survive first, then we start to thrive, and then we start to win. So here's the climb in basketball. That's our sport for today. First, you survive. You got to get in shape. Learn to move your body correctly and build a base of strength. Can you defend for all 4 quarters without gassing out? Can you land and cut without your knee giving out? Don't be the weak kid and don't be the hurt kid. pretty obvious. That's not enough meat, in my opinion. So when I say get in shape, ask a coach, find someone. What does that mean? What's in shape mean? How many sprints should I be able to run in what amount of time? Quantify it because we improve what we measure. Build a base of strength. Well, how much? Is it a 1 times body weight squat? Is it a 1 times body weight deadlift? Is it a 1 times body weight power clean? It's a strength. It's a power movement. Ask a coach. Success leaves clues. What are the numbers? If you're trying to be a champion at the champion level, who's all conference? Who's all state? Who's all American? What can they do? Get somewhere close to that so you're in the game. Can you land and cut without your knee giving out? Or every time you land and cut, a lot of times your whole leg is helping support the landing. The push off and the landing is a lot of quad involved. Build up your hamstrings so they can protect and balance out the quad. You don't want to be the hurt kid. So then you got to start to thrive once you build that base level. You build real strength because it cures a lot of sins. Like I said, you want to turn that into speed and power. So strength lets you hold your position in the paint. Someone of my size, 6'3", 250, going against some 14-year-old who's not matured yet, hasn't had the strength yet, or maybe even a 16 or 18-year-old, maybe they have, but not quite. But you still got to move me if I'm in the paint, right? I might not be that athletic, but you still got to get around me. I can hold that base when I'm D'ing up and you're posting me up and you're backing me and I got my leg between your legs and I'm pushing, you're trying to spin around me or do that drop step. What does the sport call for? Now, being strong and slow, not a lot of wins there. You got to translate that to the next level of the pyramid. That's the speed and power. So if you can hold the position with your strength, power gives you that first step and then that vertical. You start getting to the spot first. I always talk about how sports are games of force. If you want to exert force into the ground, you have to be able to absorb force. What does that mean? I should be able to jump off a box and land athletically. I should have the knowledge of how to land athletically, and I should have the physical strength to land athletically. That's not power and speed. That's just landing. But every time you jump, whether it's volleyball, football, basketball, when you land, you're absorbing force. Your body has to be able to be built for it. When you win, you start stacking it all together and the weaknesses start to trickle away. There's still always going to be one that you're working on, but that level is so much higher. The biggest pyramid on the floor, and you apply it to your game. The strongest, fastest, most powerful, and the most skilled. So I'm not tired as much in the fourth quarter. I have my strength carry me along. It enables me to execute then. That's the top of the pyramid, the skills. If I can't run up and down the court, if I can't hold my positions and hold that battle from banging in the paint all game long, I can't execute the skill. Then we can't win. That's a separation nobody can close. So remember, force equals mass times acceleration, and more force wins the play and protects the body. And coaches build the whole progression by level. You want a bigger peak, grow the base. Now the plan. I like the military example of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Find a real coach and interview them. Ask their training philosophy before you buy in. Don't take fitness advice from people who aren't experts in it just because you have a loud megaphone and microphone on social media. Question them. If you saw this on social media, question me. What do you know? What have you done? Follow the pyramid and train year round. That alone is a massive edge because most kids don't. So I'm 51. When I was younger, if you play CYO or a rec league, everyone's playing that. But if you're pretty good, maybe you got invited to play in the travel team. Gave you an extra 4, maybe 6 weeks. Better opponents, better competition, better teammates, better reps. So you got better. That was a separator. Now everyone plays travel all the time, all year round. The separation is now negated. What's the limiting factor? They're not strong enough to be able to handle the season well, minimize injuries, and then execute at the end of the season when everyone else is fatigued. This is the separator. This is the win. If Walmart's win is that they're the lowest cost provider, that's how they win. That's what they're doing differently than everybody else. That's how they win. This is how the kid can win. They have a monopoly in the area. Everyone knows who the strongest, fastest, one with the best endurance is on the team. That is easily buildable. That's what we do. That's not like, oh, he's just born that way. How do we do that? That's buildable. That's easy to do. So once you're working with a coach, always get form feedback first. I just interviewed Connor Hughes from Army. He's a strength coach. They spend weeks without a barbell perfecting form for incoming freshmen. Record your lifts. Take a look because you can't see where your own technique breaks down if you're doing this on your own. And then have your coach look at it if you're doing it remotely. And condition in a way that mimics your sport. Intervals, not 5-mile runs, for a hooper. That's not going to help you so much. It's a different kind of endurance. Hunt for weaknesses, own your gaps. No team program is perfect for you, so fill the holes yourself. Even work with me is going to have some holes. So whatever basketball team you're on, whatever strength program you're on, there's going to be some holes. Every person, every relationship, every company, every team, every sport has them. It's okay. Don't shy away from them. Those that shy are losing the mindset piece. If you embrace those, you're going to win the mindset piece. You apply it in the training execution. That's easy wins. It's no longer what's the secret. This is the secret. So fill the holes yourself, the weak core you might have. Maybe you neglected your backside. Maybe it's your grip. Do the accessory work with an outside coach. Then you gotta start to master yourself. How do you do that? That's the discipline piece. And here's our hard truth for the athlete. You're not that busy. You're undisciplined, or you're too young and you're not mature enough to make the commitment. But if you're undisciplined and you don't have a plan, start with just getting off your phone. Homework done right after school, and if the only time to train is 6 to 7 in the morning, then that's when you train. There is a solution to every problem. Eat your protein, get to bed early, and understand this consistency beats intensity every single time. Now, I'm not saying don't be intense as you can, but stacking those wins daily is where you really make the moves. It's not how hard you can train one day, it's how hard can you train, recover, and train hard again the next day. That's the whole game. Here's the test. Let's work it backwards. First, get cleared. Get cleared. Can you do these things? Now test it. First things first. This is the body, right? So get medically cleared, get a qualified coach, do it right, then hunt weaknesses, because small weaknesses cost you games. Big weaknesses will cost you with injuries and time and probably the season. So no part of the body can get neglected. Run your basic SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats on just training. Your number one strength, that's your competitive advantage. That's how you win. Your number one weakness, that's your weak link. That's how you lose. Your opportunity is your target. And your threat is how you get hurt or beat consistently. For a high school kid, keep it simple. Consistency plus one key lift. Log your top set. Send a video for form. Before a college athlete, this is a whole different iteration. You're going to have most likely a decent strength coach on your side and in your program. But get with him. Define the exact physical standard for that level. You want to be an All-American? What's that look like? What weight does that meet? Do you have to be at? What's your speed look like? These aren't the only tools. These aren't the only qualifiers. But you got to at least be hitting the minimum standards and within the range. Is it the vertical? Is it the 40? Is it the squat? Is it your clean numbers? Then work backwards to the daily work it takes to hit them and move up to them. Don't just tell me that 4 years later at a D1 program, you're still squatting the same number. That's ridiculous and an embarrassment. The coach should be fired. Keep retesting against your baseline in 30 days. Here's what I want you guys to do. If you want this scored for you, the free assessment runs every athlete through the training and all 6 blocks that we talk about for Athlete Builder. It tracks the trend over time. The trend is the most important thing. The link's in the description, athletebuilder.com. assessment test. Always and above everything else, keep stacking wins, win the day, stay relentless.